Hey folks, today we're going to talk about debt to income ratio. What does that mean when you hear me say that?
Right. Something we look at on every single loan, your debt to income ratio. It's usually one of the biggest factors in qualifying you. So what is a debt to income ratio?
It's your total debt load that would show up on your credit report. And what a lot of people don't know is we use the monthly aggregate. So not how much you owe. A lot of times we'll talk to people and they'll say, oh, my car's $15,000. That's not what we're worried about. It's that monthly minimum payment that shows up. You take all of that debt load plus the new proposed mortgage that you're gonna get. We add all that together. That's your total debt load. And then we divide it by your gross monthly income. That's your debt to income, get it? Ratio, which is critical. That's what we use to basically see if you can qualify.
So does your cell phone bill count?
Nope.
Does your utility bill count?
No. See, these are great questions. They do not count. The only thing that counts is what would show up on a credit report. Things that you typically have to give your social security number for. So when you go to Macy's and they're like, oh, hey, thanks for shopping. Would you like another 20% off? And you have to fill that out and you give them your social security number. That pulls immediately. That would show up on your credit report. So whatever that monthly debt would be on there for that Macy's card, that would show up.
Also, another good thing to know on debt to income ratios, if you have a credit card, let's say you owe $5,000 and you pay $500 a month, but your minimum required payment is only $100 a month, that's what we're looking at. The minimum required payment. Student loans are a little bit of a different beast. Sometimes, especially if those are in deferment, we have to use a percentage on those. Depending on the loan program, it's a different percentage. But just things to know that we use in your debt to income ratio. Also, there are a few things that don't report on your credit report that
like
would
what?
count.
Tell us.
Taxes and insurance on any real estate owned that let's say you own free and clear, but you have taxes and insurance liability, so we use that. Also, IRS payment plans. Anything that you owe to the IRS that you're making monthly payments on would not show in your credit report, does count in your debt to income ratio. And any sort of personal loans that you have, let's say you have a loan to your mom or dad and you pay them $200 a month in a agreement, that does count, but you have to disclose that on your loan application.
What about child support?
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, thank you.
Child support, alimony, those count. Anything like that is, a monthly obligation outside of utilities or your cell phone or your car insurance, things like that. Count in your debt to income ratio, so make sure you tell your lender about things such as child support or alimony because we do find out about those.
What about, let's talk to them a little bit about the front end ratio and the back end ratio. They may hear that come up in their conversation with your lender.
So your front end ratio, otherwise known as your housing ratio, is just your new house payment divided by your monthly income. So that's your housing ratio and that's your front ratio. The back ratio is the debt to income ratio that we've been discussing. So that's your house payment plus all your other monthly obligations divided by your gross monthly income.
Wow, that's a lot. So there you go, folks. You can see that's kind of the complications of the debt to income ratio, but it's pretty standard and hopefully you lined it out. But if you have any questions, obviously reach out to Shannon or myself and we're more than happy to break it down for you.